Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back. It is almost the end of this month, and for this month, my one goal that I want to go ahead and complete is the car loan. I want to be done with this loan. Now, in my annual plan, I had it set to go all the way into April, with April being the smaller final payment. But I want to see if I am able to have enough left over after I cover all of the other categories to add the additional remaining amount for the loan and be able to get that started and have it sent so that I can be fully done with it. I am 75%-ish sure that I will be able to do so. I don't know if I'll have any money left over even after that or not. I might not. I don't know how much really, but I've done some quick calculations just on paper just to kind of see, and it seems to work, but we'll see what YNAB says after I check on everything. So let's just go down the list of the accounts. There shouldn't be too much in here that is necessary to update. Let's see, this payment has gone through already, so I'm going to go ahead and reconcile. Nothing on high yield. For SunCheck, this was the big payment that I made just mid this month, $13.25, and that put us down to $547 left. I am so happy, like incredibly happy. Okay, I think, yeah, let's go ahead and reconcile that. And then venture, I think there were a few things here that maybe had, yes. So this Amazon is actually going to be split. And this will go into self-care, as well as Get Cool. So for self-care, it was just a few vitamins that we had ran out of for myself and a couple of other people here. So I just went ahead and got them. And then the remainder was for a purse that I have been wanting for a very long time, and I saved up for it and I got it. And then I added a wallet in as an extra because it was on sale. And yeah, I got it and I've been loving it and I've been using it. It's my daily purse now. I've thrown away a couple of old ones that I've had for a very long time that have rips and stuff. So this is now my daily purse. It is fantastic. I love it. And whenever I have to go to my doctor's visits or my dad's doctor's visits, and we get all the paperwork we always get, it'll fit in nicely and I don't have to crumble it and stick it into my smaller purses that I used to have. And then this $12.87 is not self-care. This is actually time out. I'm making my sister one of those stuffed animal hammocks because she asked for it. So I had two skeins of the cream color that she wanted the hammock to be, and it's not really big enough. So I did get one more. One more should be enough to be able to go ahead and do it and leave me enough to put in the little rings that are going to hang on the hooks on either end. So that's happening. And she wanted some decoration, like some hanging vines. So I'm also working on those. I'm trying to like vary them so they're not like all the same, and it's a little bit more not organic looking, obviously, because it's yarn, but a little more variety to make it a little bit more interesting instead of just all being the same pattern. So that's what I've been working on. It's been really fun. Easy project, taking my time with it. Don't really have a choice. I'm waiting for the new yarn to finish at least that part, but I've just been making vines and leaves and trying to see how many I will need. I'm pretty sure I need more than I have right now to make it look nice and full, but not too heavy. That's the only thing. I don't want the edge to be too heavy also, because then it defeats the purpose of what it's supposed to do. And then this grocery one is fine. And that's good. For Sapphire, that is correct. So I don't need anything there. And then for freedom, these look good. And then I'll just enter that one now and tag it for its correct one. Okay. And there we go. So let's go back to the plan. So I do have 4 overspends. Groceries, it's currently the 22nd of March, so it's a little bit past when I got paid already. And of course, I've already gone grocery shopping a few times. And then I did overspend on eating out. I miscalculated. This was my doing. I miscalculated. I thought I had more than I was actually going to have. So yeah, no more eating out for the rest of the month at all. But we should be good. Like, it shouldn't make too big of a difference. And then for Get Cool, it's only a $5 difference here. But once I add the other half, that should cover it. And it should be okay. So I'm going to do this really easy because I'm really more interested to see what I'm going to have left over once everything is covered in order to be able to send to the car loan. So for everything here, I'm going to do half, or at least just what the underfunded is, since it would be the second half, plus taking care of all of these overspends as well. So that is $965.20. That is way less than what we have in Ready to Assign. But let's go ahead and do it. Let me just get rid of these just in case. Okay, so $865. It was trying to tag the credit card as its own thing, but I'll look at that in a second here and see what's going on. So I'm going to underfund those. Okay, so I have $898 left. That seems suspiciously high, but I did have, well, I guess the bonus shouldn't do anything because majority of that went to extra on the car, which is why I was able to send a little bit more. Although I will say not all of it. So it could be that because I had already upped some categories, then it doesn't need to. Oh yeah, so that took care of that negative on the credit card. So there we go. So needless to say, I have plenty left over to send. Now, the total that is listed right now is $547.16. I did request a payoff quote just because depending on how it's being paid, there's some interest that might be left over at the end that you still need to pay, even though if it looks like you might have zeroed it out. The payoff quote came back as $547.83. So about a 65-70 cent difference. Not too bad. I could send a check for the full payoff amount, but I don't want to. I'd rather just transfer the money and then transfer it in, and then whatever remains, I'll just pay it off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and transfer $550. So I'm going to put that in here. And that should hopefully take care of the total that still remains. And if there's any additional interest that needs to be paid, then I can go ahead and pay it off from that extra few dollars that I added in there. And that will also keep the account active as well. I think I said it a few videos ago, but the SunCheck account, where I also have like a savings, just a regular traditional savings account, I don't want to close them because they are with a credit union. I'd rather just keep them. And if I ever need another loan, like another car loan, or if I ever do plan on purchasing a house, I would rather see what they can provide before I go a traditional bank if I need to or anything like that. So with that being said, they have implemented fees. So if you have an account that has had no movement in, I think, 6 months or so, they'll start charging $5, I believe, on the account. Because I'm hopefully paying off the loan in the next week or so in full with whatever extra that they say that I still owe, I am going to start sending $10 a month to the checking account and then transferring 5 of that to the savings. So it shows some movement in the accounts. I already have the $10 set as a recurring transfer, so I don't have to think about it so much. And it's not really going to mess up with anything that I have because it's just $10. Even in my annual plan, as you guys have seen, I have a little leftover that I don't plan for, that I leave just in case there's any additional things that I need to do, such as this, to keep the accounts active and not get charged. As far as I saw, they don't have a minimum that you need to have. You just need to have some activity in the accounts. So that way I can get that activity just going and I don't really have to think about it. I'll probably keep it open for another few years just as a precaution before maybe in a few years I say, okay, well, I don't really need it anymore and I close it out. But for right now, I'll keep it in, see what accumulates. If anything, if I get upwards of $1,000 in there, I'll transfer it into the high yield savings, but I'll just keep the $10 transfer going. So that's kind of how I'll work it. I do still have $348 left. So let's see. There are a few things that I do want to put a little bit of additional money into. Not by much, but I do want to go ahead and have something in here. So for fees and services, I want to have, because this is for my credit card fees. 2 of them have annual costs, small amounts, like $100. So they're not ridiculously huge. And I do have almost $100 in there. So I'm going to go ahead and just put like half of what I would normally put just to get over that $100. So whatever comes next, I have that in there. For my subscriptions, I'm not far off from what I need, but I want to go ahead and just make sure, because this handles both annual subscriptions and monthly subscriptions. So I just want to make sure that I have enough in here. So I usually budget 115. So I'm going to put another half of that. So add a little bit extra in there. And then let's see, what else? So Get Cool, as we can see, I ended up with $9 remaining after putting in the other half for the month. So I saved up a decent amount to be able to get myself that little extra wallet. Okay. Household's going okay, but I'm going to add in an additional 25 here, just to keep that up. Water is fine. I don't have to worry about that. All of these bills are good. I might be $2 short this month. Let me just double check. Oh no, I read it wrong. I'm over. I'm over by about $40 in here, which is fine. I'm just gonna leave it in there. I'll just let it accumulate. That'll give me a little bit of a saving grace if I need it for any other month or anything like that. Oh, this little $3, that was for just air. Just making sure my tires had enough air. That is maintenance. So I put it into the oil change, the maintenance category, essentially. Let's see. So with this 245, I'm going to go ahead and pop it into some of these reserves. So we're at 280, 287 for this. I'm going to get it to 300. Oops, I did not put enough there. There we go. I'm going to put an additional 25 in here. I want to get this to, let's see, 225. Oh, I meant to put 25 in there and I put 75. That's okay. And then let's see. I'm going to put 50 in here. At some point, I'm going to transfer this 450 over to the HSA. I don't know when that point will be, but it will go in there. It's at 1 month this year. It'll go in there. Okay, I still have 102. I added a little bit into fees, subscriptions. I don't think I need anything from in here really. No, escape is fine. My sister and I, we went to a little fair. So we got wristbands and we rode some of the rides more than once. We rode the one that looks like a spaceship. I don't remember the name, but you kind of get plastered to the side of it because it spins so fast. And I've ridden that before, like a long, 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 long time ago. And I rode it and I was so dizzy come out of it. Like it took a little bit for the dizziness to go away. Like the world wasn't spinning and my stomach was fine. Like I didn't have any like issues with that. But I could feel that I was a little bit like my balance was thrown. So I just sat for a few minutes. Um, and I had to laugh about it because I never had that sort of reaction to any of those types of rides. So it, I guess age and whatever issues I'm having lately. I wanted to check something in here because, oh no, she hasn't. Okay. So my sister did ask about the half for the tickets, and I did tell her, so she might be sending that to me at some point, which will be more money that I'll have to put somewhere, probably in the events category though. Okay, so this 102.04, I'm gonna go ahead and just add it into, you know what? I'm gonna split it up a bit. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Everything is at 300. The feel good, which is for the health, is at 450. Very nice. And then this 204, let's just add it to the car maintenance, the oil changes. And yeah, all right. That looks good. I'm, I listen, I can't say that I will not buy anything out to eat. I am trying really hard not to. I've been doing good so far. Most of this was in the beginning of the month. Like I really just, oh, it was all before the second paycheck even came in. Like I really said, I don't want to cook and I don't want anything that's in the house. I'm getting stuff out. I really just, and it was this one right here because I forgot about this one. I completely forgot that I had already gotten it like 2 days prior, and I got a big one. I think this was from me and one of the other kids, probably. It's okay. I don't say no to them, not often. And usually they go ahead and send me money, a portion of it, just to kind of offset. And so sometimes I ask for it, sometimes I don't. Most times I don't. It's fine. Oh, I'm so excited that the car loan is coming to an end. And I am super duper excited that I'll be able to focus more of my energy now into the peaceful rainy days for the emergency fund. I had it set in here to be 8,000 for the year, 12,000 in total. We had 4 from last year, so 8,000 for this year, We still have 7,600 to go because I've only been adding $100. In order to get on track to meet that, I would have to put in $676.77. I love that this program just does all this math for me. That's one of the things that I really, really absolutely love about this. I don't have to keep so much calculations and doing all of this on my own. It just, I can kind of see what I need. So within the next few months, I hopefully should be able to put in more and more and more in order to be able to get on track. And then for the rest of the year, it'll just be a matter of putting what I need to in order to get to that amount. I might send more just to get to it a little bit quicker. But I'm not going to rush myself needlessly with it. So whatever that is going to be, the amount that I would need, I'll go ahead and send it. If I have any extra towards the end of the month, I'll go ahead and send that extra in, unless I need it somewhere else, like health, the car. Those are the big things. And the fur baby fund as well. Those are the three out of the reserve. Those are the important ones. Gadgets and the home maintenance thing are not as huge. Everything seems to be going okay so far. I will be using gadgets at some point, maybe next month, just to get myself a mic, because I am still borrowing my brother's. And sometimes when I go to borrow it, he's using it. So that kind of delays me a little bit on some things. Honestly, what delays me the most is editing, because I do not, still to this day, after a whole entire last year, I don't like to listen to my voice. Yeah, that's what causes a lot of the delays. It's just really hard to hear myself. It sounds weird to me, but it's fine. So that's gonna be sort of my next goal that I want to heavily focus on, the emergency fund. And then secondary would definitely be the health, the car, my kitten, who's my old kitten, who's not a kitten anymore, but he still likes to act like one. And just keeping up with the bills, keeping up with all of the adulting stuff, and having a little bit of fun to play around with. So I like the way the fun category has been working for me this year. I have had the purse that I wanted to purchase in my cart since I think October last year, and I haven't purchased it up until now because the fun categories weren't very steady last year, as far as I can remember right now. They're a lot steadier this year. And as I have been talking, I went ahead and transferred over the $550 for the car loan. It's going to take a few days since they're not the same banks, so it just takes a few days longer for the transfer to go through, possibly sometime next week. Once it goes through, I'm probably going to be logging into the bank account every day until it comes in. And once it comes in, I am putting it in as a payment, and then I'll wait to see if there's any additional for any interest that still needs to be paid and things like that. And I will get that done with the little extra I have in there. Once that is finished and we close out the loan, I will then move SunCheck to be a tracking account instead of a cash account, because whatever is going to be in there, I'm not really going to go ahead and use like the $10 that I'm going to be transferring in there. It's just there to hold the account open. So I will be moving it to be a tracking account. And when that comes in, then we'll go ahead and do that together, because I have not done that. So I will have to see how to do that. You can't change an account from a cash to a tracking. Like you would have to create an account and then close out the original account and then transfer the balance to the new tracking. So yeah, anyway, that's all next month's problem at this point. But that is all I have for today. Thank you as always for watching and for listening, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.